Hey guys, what's going on? Just getting this camera all set up and adjusted here. So today we're gonna do a little bit of a live mod. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna try and get this in there. There we go. All right, so what I'm gonna be doing is making and taking this particular the dog bones that used to be here. And I'm going to make this into a CVD. Now, I've already done this on this side. Okay. This particular bearing's got to pop in, but that's a minor detail that'll be taken care of pretty quickly. Okay. It's already pretty much done. I need to put the thing on and cinch it down. Okay. So what does this do? The whole purpose of this mod is to gain more steering travel. Okay, the original HPI Venture only gets maybe 33 degrees of turning radius. That takes a 12.3 inch wheelbase and turns it into a school bus. The CVDs that I'm going to be putting in, they are the Vanquish. Here we go. They're right here. The Vanquish VVDs assemblies for the Vaterra Ascender. Here's what it looks like inside here. Okay. This is the Vaterra Ascender upgrade. Now, let me explain why I'm not doing the Vaterra Ascender specifically. Okay. I had them in here. I did it. Here's the problem. If you look, there you go. Let me get this in zoom here. Okay. Guys, that is twisted. Okay. This is a stock motor in here. And a 35 turn with a stock ESC, stock receiver. I actually bent this axle on 3S. Okay. And I destroyed the other one. That is not good. So I don't want that to happen again, needless to say. So what I'm going to be doing, it's going to take a little time. Okay. And I'm going to have everything available. Here we've got, yes, we have RC 4-wheel drive blue Loctite. Yay. That's a good thing because I need blue Loctite for this project. Okay. So what tools do we need? Okay. Off the bat, you need a decent set of calipers. Okay. Next, of course, you need a Dremel. Okay. Here's the Dremel coming in hot. Okay. Here's a Dremel. Okay. I like this particular bit, and you can actually see it's been worn in a little bit because I did do one of the other sides. Okay. Outside of that, obviously, you need the 2mm and time. And the time is the hardest part. Okay. And as I'm looking here, I might need a set of pliers as well, depending. Yeah, I am going to need a set of pliers. All right, I'm going to go grab a set of pliers. Give me 10 seconds. And for the station identification on this HPI Venture network. And you can see what I'm doing. There we go. We'll see if I can get that to stay. There you go. Hey, toss me a set of pliers, please. Are you using them? You have a gas house. You have a gas house. No. That's Mama's coat. Don't leave it. Put it in. All right. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm back. Had to deal with some shenanigans. All right. So I apologize for that. Didn't expect to have to use this set of they're not channel locks. It's been a long day. Sorry, guys. Needle nose. All right. So I'll switch this around. I'm going to show you what's up with with this side. Okay. So I'm trying to bring this down a little bit so you guys can see a little more clearly with what I'm doing. There you go. Get some support. All right. So what I'm going to do is I actually used a screw underneath here. I'm going to take one of these off. Okay. The one I'm going to take off is going to need to be this one. So in order to do that, I've got to have the 2 mil. Okay. And I actually have to bring it a little closer to where I'm at. You may or may not be able to see. My bumper's in the way. Sorry, it's just a bad angle. Okay. And then I can take this off right here. Okay. Actually, I might. I'm going to flip this over. There we go. I think that'll be just a little bit easier to deal with. Can you see where I'm at? There you go. Yeah, you can see where I'm at right here. Okay, I'm going to back it out. Always have some Loctite on there. Okay, and then screw goes in there. Continues to come down. Boom and boom. All right. Now, I'm not going to take my rear bar off because there's really no need. It's already pretty well set. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take off this bottom couple, and you see that I do already have brass inserts right here, so that way it's actually going to be a little bit easier to do this mod with the brass inserts for the pure only reason of having material to work with. Plastic is a little sketchy, just because, I mean, these trucks are built under, a budget, so you have to be careful. Okay, so I am going to take all these screws out right here. My main concern. All right, there it goes. There that goes. My main concern is to make sure that everything loosens without stripping. Okay, sorry, move my hand. All right. Take it out, place it in there. Okay, and I do want, okay, loose. Now, these are different screws, so I think I put a little more Loctite on these particular ones than I did some of the others. And you'll see part of this is really loose because there's no CVD in there to hold it steady because, well, it broke. Okay, and this one's coming off. All right, so we are good. Sorry, you can hear a German Shepherd in the background. He's a good dog. He's a good boy. A little nutty, but he's a good boy. All right, so inside here, you can see the bushings right here. I'm actually going to take this bushing out right here, this front one. The top one, I should say. This is the top one, is the bigger of the two. Then you have one on the rear, on the bottom as well. I'm going to put those in my little holder. Okay. I'm going to push out the bearing. There it goes. You can tell that this bearing's already had a rough life. Okay, it's still good. So in order to check the bearing to make sure it's good or not, so what I did was I put it on a pair of needle nose. Okay, and then I twisted. Okay. So what we have to work with is the C-hub. So here's what we need to do. Okay. If you look on the inside of this C-hub here, you see it's bright and shiny. Okay. What we need to do is back this out a little bit, use the Dremel and make this a little bit more even to about this point where it stops. We need to do the same thing on the top. The reason is, if you look at the Vaterra Ascender CVDs versus the Vanquish ones. Sorry, I'm going to take it out of the pack. Okay, you look at the Vaterra Ascender ones, you will notice that the Ascenders have a much smaller CVD piece. Okay, positive or negative, it is what it is. Okay, these Vanquish ones are larger, so you have to account for the clearance on it. Okay, they're also heavier duty and much beefier, in my humble opinion. Okay, so here's the travel. Okay, you're getting the same travel. There you go. Let's see if I can get that to go. Here you go. Boom. Call it a day. All right. What I also need to do on the inside here is actually grind this down probably about a third of the way down. So that way, when I put this in, and you can actually see where it hits right here. Okay. See if I can get into there you go. You can see where it hits and it doesn't sit flush. That's one of the biggest issues, is you got to make sure everything sits flush. Once you grind this down on here and then you take care of these two, you'll be home. You have one more mod to do, and then you'll be pretty good. All right, so I'm actually going to do that live here. So let me plug in my Dremel. My battery should be solid. It's been charging for 45 minutes. It's up to 70%. All right. Check to see if the Dremel works. Good to go. All right. So first one I'm going to do is actually I'm going to do the one on the inside here because I can. Okay. I do want to highlight, you don't need the fastest setting. You just need a setting that's going to work. And it's going to take off material, but it's not going to like cause issues. That's one of the biggest settings, biggest issues. All right, so I'm going to continue on a low setting. Okay. So what I'm doing is creating essentially a cup for this piece right here, this red piece, to sit in. I'm going to do the same side on seam up here. Okay. And that easy top process will really help. Okay. I honestly should be good enough. Okay. You just want to try and make it nice and smooth on the inside. So that way the actual, this can rotate because this will be rotating. Okay. Yeah, I'm live on YouTube. All right. Next, what I'm going to do, this is a brass part. I'm going to take this and I'm going to Dremel it down. Now, this one's going to be a little harder to see just because of the angle that I have to have it, but I'll show you what I'm doing as I go. Okay. As you can see, I'm going to pause that real quick. As you guys can see on the inside here, it's starting to come. I've got a little bit more to go on here. I'm not using a lot of pressure. I'm letting the actual bit do the work. Sorry, that's just it's hard to see because of the color against it. Let's see if I can get it up there. There we go. There it goes. Now you can really start to see it. All right. You don't need fast. You just need consistent. All right. Cool. So I'm gonna I'll adjust this as I go once the actual piece gets in. All right. Let's see if I can pause this right quick. I don't think I can. Okay. So I'm gonna be right back. Keep in mind the Vaterra Ascender Vanquish switch up. It's always good. All right, I'm back, guys. So the next and most important part of this particular mod has to deal with these. Okay, it's the actual CVDs. Okay, at 1820, I'm just taking a mark. When I use calipers on these, okay, in this particular situation, I'm just going to use millimeters because it's just already preset like that. Okay, going to zero it out. Okay, use my calipers. Boom, boom, right? 399 4.0. Okay, there you go. Okay, 4.0. Okay, it doesn't matter which side I do, 4.0, 395. All right, so I'm actually going to use the 395 side because why not? Cool. So, why do I say that? I have to take this, okay, both sides, be as even as possible, and come to 3.0 millimeters. That's why I have to take 1 full millimeter off of this material. Okay, half a millimeter up top, half a millimeter on the bottom, in order to make this fit the spool inside the pumpkin. That right there is probably one of the toughest things to do. So what you're going to see me do is I'm going to use the Dremel. I'm going to use this here. Okay, I'm going to take my time and do it right. And I'm going to use some pressure, but I'm not going to use a ton. I'm not going to ramp this up all the way. That way it stays controlled in my hand. Okay. You also see me test it using the calipers as I go. Okay, speed-wise, I'm about halfway. Flipping it. Okay, so like I said, what I'm doing is I'm going to take my calipers and I check. My goal is 3.0 millimeters. Always zero it out. Good. Come in, do a quick check. All right, I'm at 3.5. So I've got a little more to go. Till this gets to be where I want it. But it is in progress, which is good. And you can see from the get-go, this portion, it's only been 4 or 5 minutes. Okay. Okay, gonna check it, see where it's at. Zero it out, we're good. Okay, 3.33. Let's try it. Let's see if it goes in all the way. Okay, do a quick clean off. I'm gonna grab my rag, which happens to be an old, actually here, I got an actual rag, which happens to be right here. I'm gonna wipe this off. Wipe this off internally. Now I expect some resistance just because, you know, it's a little old, and actually I expect a lot of resistance because the axle's still in there. Fun times at Ridgemont High. Huh. All right. Well, great. My geniusness hasn't taken the axle out. That's going to be a party right there. All right. So, anyway, I digress. So that's essentially how you're going to do this particular mod. And I'm trying to see if I can get this to sit in correctly. All right. So I'm looking at this angle. As you guys can see, I do have plenty of play. I've got play up top, up on the bottom, so I'm going to get my full range of motion, which is exactly what I want. Okay, I want this to be loose. It also feels like it's pretty smooth. when I'm going back and forth, it feels like it's smooth, which is even better. What I'm going to have to do is finish taking the material off of this. And I actually have to open up my axle. And right about here where my shock mount is, where you guys can see my bumper. Here we go. I'll put it here. Where this shock mount is. Somehow I have to get the actual the old axle out because it broke. It broke. So I got to get that all figured out. Anyway, I'm going to finish this part first, and then I'll take care of that. Okay. Let's check. Zero it out. 3.2, 3.2. So let's check this Vaterra to see where it needs to be. All right, so this still needs to go down a little more. Okay. 3.2. It's getting there though. I'm within 0.2 off. Okay, that's going to be very close, just by eyeballing it. .1, 3.1. Okay, we'll see where it's going, and we'll do that. So, if the axle wasn't stuck in here, what would happen? Okay, is this would go in, boom, all the way. I'd test to see if it fit in the spool or not. Put the C-hub back in. I would actually take the truck, lift it onto an angle, okay, and then place the these pieces in. I can't even think what they're thinking. They're not grub screws, but the spacers, because on top that's what allows the this piece to turn with fidelity. And then I'd lock these up and tighten them down pretty decently. Use a little blue Loctite, and then I'd cinch this back down onto the C-hub. It's pretty straightforward, and I think that's one of the hardest things to understand is you have to have metal chubs and such in order to make this happen. Aluminum, brass, whatever your preference is, it's going to be fine. But that's going to be the crucial aspect, is to make sure that this goes in. See, even you can tell right here, just the way this sits, it's clean. And I just want to make sure it's centered right here. As you can see, it's pretty well centered. There you go. I might even want to take off a little more material Actually, I'll take a little more material off of this up top here, and just to ensure the fact that it's centered. Okay, so let's do it again. Just a test fit. Okay, there you go. I know that that's centered. Okay, and that will be fine. And there's a bearing that goes inside here, so that way the actual axle will come up and rub up against the bearing. So there will be a little bit of clearance there. So this is fine. Okay, I believe that this part is fine as well, and I just got to get this this piece out. So once I get that done, we can wrap it up, put everything together, throw a little grease on, and call it a day. All right, I'm gonna pause this. I'm gonna unlive it, and then I'll come back once I get some grease and get it apart, and then that way it's a little more straightforward. All right, talk to you guys in a minute. Hey, what's going on, bro? If you give me a minute, you can